For the past couple of weeks, I've been testing what is perhaps the most powerful gaming desktop PC that's come to the channel. I couldn't talk about it because I was under embargo, and that embargo lifts today. I could actually tell you about it finally. It's the HP Omen 45L desktop PC. It's a tower that is really packing a lot of power with a Core i9-12900K processor with that RTX 3090 GPU. Yes, that is a very powerful CPU-GPU combination. It's in a nice case. They sent a bunch of accessories along with it. Sit back, relax, and let's take a look at the HP Omen 45L desktop PC. Coming up.
Now, as we take a look at the specs, I want to let everybody know, in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by HP. I'm not being sponsored by HP. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. HP is not getting copy approval. That means they're seeing this video for the first time, just like you. Now, this review unit is on loan from HP, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. And believe me, I really don't want to. It's been really that good. Now, pricing for the 45L starts at $2299.99 over at HP.com. For those interested in the latest pricing and availability, check out that link below for more information and where you can buy one. Now, my review unit is fully decked out. I'm not really sure even of the price right now. I will let everybody know once I get more updated information, but rest assured you're looking at around or maybe even over $5,000. Yeah, it's fully decked out, as you will see in just a moment. HP sent over a bunch of accessories, including the Omen 27C gaming monitor. It's got a 240 Hz refresh rate, a 1 millisecond response time. It's got a QHD resolution of 2560 by 1440, and it supports AMD FreeSync Premium Pro. HP also sent over the HyperX Alloy Core gaming keyboard, along with the PulseFire FPS Pro gaming mouse. And to give me a full experience, HP also sent over a really nice HyperX gaming headset. I'll link to it in the description below. Now, the one thing I want to point out with the Omen 45L is the ATX case that it uses. It's really good. Not only does it have the cryo chamber to help with cooling, it also has easy accessibility to the internals. The glass comes off on one side and the panel comes off on the other, so you have access to both sides of the unit, easily put on and off by the user. Now, the good news is, for those that are interested in buying the case as a standalone product, HP will be offering it sometime this spring. Once it is available, I'll put a link in the description below to let everybody know where they can buy it and its availability. And speaking of internals, you can access the RAM, of course, and you can configure this with up to 64 gigabytes of HyperX RAM. It's the DDR4 3733 RAM, and it's actually pretty fast. So far, in my initial testing, it's been looking really good. Now, officially, they're saying this can go up to 64 gigabytes of RAM. Unofficially, you should be able to do 128. And my review unit has two 2 terabytes of PCIe Gen 4 SSD storage, and as you can see from these reads and writes, they are super fast. Now, there's no shortage of ports on this tower. You've got some audio ports, as you see here. You've got your RJ45 Ethernet. You've got 2 USB-A ports next to that. And below that are 2 USB-C ports and 2 more USB-A ports. Plenty of connections in terms of extending it out to a monitor or a TV. You've got HDMI. You've got DV ports. Plenty of ports to connect with this. No shortage in that department. And on the top, you get a headset jack, a microphone jack. You also get 4 more USB-A ports, and finally your power button. And as you can see from the specs on the screen, HP went with a pretty innovative thermal solution, going with that cryo chamber. It supports up to 360 millimeters in terms of the liquid cooling, which certainly helps out in the overall performance. And speaking of performance, this sports the Core i9-12900K processor. That's the 12th gen Alder Lake processor from Intel, paired with this RTX 3090 from NVIDIA, and you get some really great results here, especially when you play on high settings with QHD resolution or 2560 by 1440. More demanding games like Cyberpunk 2077 has some very playable frame rates with very good performance here. You're going to be impressed. If you are a hardcore gamer, this is the one to look at. This pretty much can handle everything you throw at it, even a 4K resolution. You're going to see very playable frame rates. And to illustrate my point, here's Red Dead Redemption 2 running on the highest settings in QHD resolution, 2560 by 1440 on that 27C gaming monitor provided by HP. You can see the high refresh rate. You can see performance is very good. In fact, I'm seeing 90 to 93 frames per second on these highest settings, just for reference. And obviously, older titles like GTA 5 will run really well, even on the highest settings. Very, very playable frame rates. This is a very enjoyable gaming experience so far with this CPU-GPU combination. Now, when it comes to the thermals, really good job here. When I ran the Prime 95 stress test to put this under maximum load, the CPU will maintain a very healthy 4.8 to 5.12 gigahertz and reach a core temperature of 98 degrees Celsius. But even under heavy load, I observed no thermal throttling, and it didn't really lose any performance, maintaining good clock speeds throughout, even under maximum load. And we're seeing this great performance, especially when it comes to thermals, because they really employed a pretty innovative thermal solution here, especially with that cryogenic chamber. That's going to help. Airflow has been great on this. Now, as far as fan noise is concerned, you definitely will hear it when this kicks in under heavy load, but you can control the fans. There's a lot of user control at your fingertips, so that is a great thing to give to the end user. And here it is, full blast. Give it a listen. And holy smokes, check out some of these benchmarks. A PC Mark 10 of 9091. That's amazing. The Geekbench 5 multi-core score is 15,608. That's pretty high, I would say. And as far as the single core score, 1891, very high as well. Check out some of these Cinebench scores from the R20 to the R15 test, and of course the 3D Mark test. Check out some of these results, unbelievable. Suffice it to say, performance has been excellent on this. I've been very impressed with this 12th generation Alder Lake processor, the Core i9-12900K. I'm also impressed with the RTX 3090. You're going to do everything with this. You can do 4K video editing, high-end stuff, really high-end Photoshop, of course. You could do color grading on this, especially if you go with that monitor. It's actually been pretty good. I'll talk more about that in a separate video. And you could also do everyday tasks, Microsoft Office, email, web browsing. So when you're not gaming, you need to get work done, this will get the job done. There's no question about this. This is one of the most capable, if not the most capable machine I've used to date. Okay, let's bring it all home. What do I think about the HP Omen 45L desktop here for 2022? And I gotta say, I am super impressed. We have to start with that Core i9-12900K processor. We have to talk about that RTX 3090 GPU. This is a very, very powerful combination. I like the versatile ATX case. It gives you a lot of accessibility to the internals, to the components for swapping things out and to tinkering and so forth. You're going to like it. I like the super fast SSD. I saw some really fast reads and writes thanks to that PCIe Gen 4 that this sports, and of course, very fast HyperX RAM. Now you can configure this with up to 64 gigabytes of RAM officially. Unofficially, you should be good with 128 as well. Now, excellent gaming performance, as you saw from the numbers. You really can play on the ultra high settings and get some really great gaming experiences here. You're going to love it. Now, as far as the cooling solution, it's a pretty innovative solution going with that cryo chamber and the liquid cooling here. I think it's a really good solution employed here, although the fans will get loud, pretty loud actually when under heavy load, so that's something to be aware of. But again, the cooling has done the job. I didn't see any throttling. I saw it maintain excellent clock speeds even under maximum load. Now, of course, it's not perfect. There are a few negatives here. I mentioned the loud fans, and of course, it can get expensive, coming in over $5,000 for my review unit. And they went with DDR4, not DDR5 RAM. I suspect that's a shortage issue in terms of supply. They just couldn't get it, so they went with the DDR4, something to be aware of. But all in all, I think HP's hit a home run here. I think they did an excellent job. I like the CPU-GPU combination. I like the cooling solution they employed here. You're going to get some really great performance out of this, and you're going to be very happy when it comes to gaming.
So what do you think about the brand new HP Omen 45L, the gaming desktop PC that packs a punch? I tell you, that Core i9-12900K processor paired with that RTX 3090 makes this device scream. It is an absolutely powerful device. Fast RAM, fast SSD, excellent application performance, excellent gaming performance, as you saw from the numbers. It speaks for themselves. Off the charts benchmarks as far as Geekbench, as far as the Cinebench test, the 3D Mark test, the PC Mark test. It blew everything out of the water. It did a great job in terms of performance. That means you can do 4K video editing. You can do even probably higher than that. You can do high-end video work. It will be perfect for that. Audio work, it'll do great on that for processing that kind of audio stuff. And of course, you can do the gaming, which is what the focus is on this, and you won't be disappointed. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. As I get more information about availability and the actual pricing on the HP website, I will link it in the description below. I'm actually headed to New York to attend another press briefing during CES. I'm leaving Las Vegas, going to New York for the night, attending a meeting tomorrow and coming back, and I will have more on CES 2022 here in Las Vegas. But in the meantime, I think this is a great desktop PC, and it's one you want to check out, especially if you're a serious gamer and want something that really is cutting edge at this point. It's really good numbers in this, and I'm very impressed. Again, pricing, I will bring all that to you. Availability, I'll bring all that to you as soon as I get all the accurate information, and I will link it in the description below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, my website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.